Good morning. Morning, Sheldon. Let me know if you can hear me when you get a second. And market's about to open up. All right, we're open. Watching to see if price runs up to those highs. Just a second, I'll move this. If it goes up above there, I'm going to start looking for trades. That'll be up there at 7:30. So we just ran right out to VWAP, standard deviation 2. I think we're going to go for those highs. That'd be 740. There we go. Top of that box. This is where I'm looking for right up here. Still have buyers. Price we have still have buyers on NASDAQ, on NQ, on MNQ. They've started selling, so I was hoping for one quick sprint up to this high, quick flush, but it might, I don't know, it might take longer to get up there. It might grind up there slower. I don't know. It was just an idea. We'll see what happens. One of the most predictable places we could have traded is right above here. Gold's got one. Let me see how gold's doing. It's kind of close. Wow. YM broke all the way out. So YM broke its afternoon lows, yes, overnight lows. So YM might be one to look for a trade on. It's next to these other lows. I don't know if we need to go down there and break those first. What I'd be doing is looking for a buy, but I'm looking for it to break some real clean, real clear lows here, like this. So I never trade YM, but YM is down there, so I'll need to check that in like a minute, and then NQ is breaking its session lows, which just don't look too bad for buys either. This might just end up buying down low instead. I don't know. Choppy looking open. I'm gonna have to watch this candle. Got 10 seconds left. So what I do is I'm gonna look for just a real clean, real clear flush. That way there's no pressure on it. It either stalls out, no new low, risk is low enough to get in or it's not. So like here where this candle's doing this, I may look for a buy right off of this area here. But what I'll need at this point is for this low needs to remain the low. I'm not in the trade. What would allow me to get in the trade? Shoot, I don't know if I'm going to. It keeps going. I was going to say it's for price to push down in here. This is moving too fast for me to be able to get in. But you can definitely see a clear shift. I mean, how we started out, we are 4 minutes in. We had strong buyers lift. Sellers came in, pushed back down. Now buyers pushing back up. This is just super, super choppy. Right now, trying to trade the way I was saying, it's too big. I mean, that's trying to put your stop below the lowest $500 risk. So you'd have to let price drop down in here, kind of like where it's going right now. So this would be the time where you decide if you're going to either try to buy that and put your stops down below the low or not. Obviously, the lower you can go, the better. It's just a trade idea. And then, let me watch it and see what it does. Let me see if I can't get in right there. Yeah, it's 110 bucks. I'll take that for my first one. That already that already hit profit. I know that didn't end up being a really big trade, but I got in so low. I put my TP 1-to-1, so I got in all the way down here where my stop loss was only 110. So it was the first trade of the day. So I set my TP a little bit better than my stop loss, and I already got knocked out of it. You can keep watching the same thing right here, see if it holds, because Delta's pushing up right now. I know it looks ugly, but it's not too bad. Trades all down in this area here. Lots of sell side, like sell liquidity up above the highs. Not as much down below. Seems like there's a lot of traders that want to trade up above the highs. See what that YM did. I'm gonna leave that alone. Focus on this one and maybe gold. Gold may set up a little bit later to be a little more predictable. I'm gonna set an alert at the low. So if price comes down here and tags that, I'll get the alert. It's about to set up a. This might set up a big tighten. Trade back up. If it hits this, it's only got 15 seconds. It would have to hit this high by 15 seconds. And you have to make a decision because this is a bigger risk. This is a bigger setup in general. $700 with only one contract. We got, if you just kind of notice what we're looking at here, you see the distribution for this. I've showed you guys this a lot, but the type of profile that we're looking at, like this right here, you can see all the volume, real low volume down here, and then but you see this is where the open was. So price open down here, shot all up here, and it spent pretty much a majority of its time all up here. So what we know without a doubt is this is not balanced, right? It's not like all the volumes down in here, all the volumes concentrated at that one side. So if all the volumes here and price is not pushing up, then what that normally means is that the buyers have either run out of gas, right? They're exhausted, or sellers stepped in, which you can see we're at this old high right here. So sellers may have stepped in and started to push this down. Either which way you look at it, all the volumes here and price has not gone higher. If all the volumes here, you'd assume that if the volume's here and it's buyer, or let's say it's buyers, price should be going up, but it's going, it's not going up. So what that points out is absorption. Just a second. Okay, so yeah, anyways, that's why I was thinking at open was, if I was really hoping the price would push up above here, right? It'd be really nice to break the highs one last time. This still looks pretty good how it kind of wick tested up into that area, but man, it would have been textbook if it would have reached this high right here and then curved over. And so, with this, we might be expecting price to come all the way back down to, like, this halfway point right here. If it doesn't continue going higher. So we've got real clear invalidation. All right. So this is if I could trade to any place today, it would be right here. This would be my favorite place to trade. If price was to break there, it's a inflection point. Price, if it goes higher, then all right, it go higher. I don't know. I haven't mapped that out. But if it came up here and showed signs that it was being absorbed or the sellers were stepping in, I'd be all over it. So this could be a high conviction trade area right here. If you want, context for your trades, you're trying to find the right spot to get in, or a place to focus instead of just trading all over the place, then, that's how you do it. You look for areas like this, and this is a perfect example. All this volume right here. All right, gold dip down here into one of these little areas, one of our little zones. So does that mean, did we break that low yet? Not yet. We're almost there. The same type of deal with gold. It looks a little different, but what I'm looking for here, let me pull it up on this chart. All right, so this is gold. All right, so here we are right at about the midpoint, right at about the midpoint. If you measure from low of the day to the high of the day, oh, I guess we're more than that, like 60%. Let me look at what this looks like. All right, about 50% right here. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We're about halfway pulled back of this move back. We can see a lot of the volume. Just look at the profile. Stop looking at the candles and look at the actual profile, and you can see there's kind of a section here, here, obviously here. This is the value area. That's why it's like that. And then we have this area down here. and that's what we're trading at right now. So again, if I want a really probable area to trade, there was balance found right here. See, price, look how price moved through these areas the last time, and now look, see, price is moving through them quickly again. So last time price stayed here and consolidated in this area right here. So what I look for is for price to drop right down below. That's just going to be the easiest trade. If you want easy, that's what you're going to have to wait for. It's the most predictable stuff. Do Titan trades. Titan trade right off the low right there too. Some really big trades just came in right there on this candle. Lot of volume. About the same, almost the same amount of volume just came in on this candle that, let me see. Yeah, almost the same amount of volume in that one candle as there was in the opening candle. It's pushing up there now. Just testing this high right here. Watching this candle, see if it can go any higher or not. I was thinking about trying to buy between here up to here, but if this candle doesn't make a new high, then it may not, might have to happen later. All right, now this one's going for it. There we go. Bam. I just snagged a little trade right between here and 725. Moving super quick. It's everything's buying. I mean, everything's you look at the chart, look at this thing. All right, now we got those highs. We're running right into lots of liquidity up here, so we'll see how it reacts. Let's see how it reacts. I'm just watching the candles, waiting for them to stop going up, and then I'll see if I see sellers stepping in. Like, I mean, I'm watching each candle, but let's see. All right, so we just shot up. This is one of our CME volume levels, and we've got two more up here. So our next main volume levels are at 790 and 800. We're at 775 right here right now. We do have, oh, never mind. I was about to say we do have a buy limit kind of chasing price up, but it was either triggered or disappeared. I don't know. Believe it or not, this last candle, sellers did step in there. Just watching this candle now, trying to see if it closes up here high enough, doesn't break the high. Got 15 seconds left. Just too big of a risk right here. You gotta measure your own risk if you're gonna do this with me. It had to be like 766 area, depending on your risk to sell. And what I've been doing with these is I've been just doing a TP1. I found that since I've been doing that, I've been I don't do it on all of them, but I should. The more that I do that, a lot of these go TP1 so easily, but it's where I end up not making anything on them is when I try to hold them for huge moves. All right, this one went higher. That stopped me out. I actually put a sell limit in there. Look at that. Bam. Right up to those levels too. These volume levels work so well. If you strip everything down and just look at what's happened since open, we opened up right here. So we opened up, and we had already really traded most of these volume levels here throughout the night. Right, we'd already traded through all these volume levels. So all these were already tested, touch, 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 touch. All of these were touched. The only ones that were not touched were these ones that we just touched this morning. And so opened up, and you could just see how there's this level, these levels held down here. Once it broke that level, went to this level. Once it broke that level, right up to these levels. And this thing's going all the way back to 720 or 725, I guess. I got a little piece of this, but I had to do some things because I couldn't trade. I couldn't trade just the regular candle because I mean I could have, but it would have put me over. It would have put me over my risk, and my risk is my risk is 500. This was over a $500 risk on the trade if you would have tried to trade when this candle closed right here. It was very clear shift. The only thing that was missing was in some kind of divergence, but it shifted over in a very clear way from buyers to sellers. But yeah, just how it ended up closing, you were not able to take the trade unless you took a higher risk or unless you took the trade. And this is what I did is I took the trade and I just didn't use the high as my stop loss. I just put my stop loss where I was okay with the amount of money I was willing to lose, and luckily that trade had absolutely zero pullback. All it did was drop. So guess I'm a lucky trader. About to try to set up a Titan right here. See, is it gonna trigger it? Only got 5 seconds. I guess not. POC's down at 720, so I'm like a little, I don't know. It depends. Let me try to zoom out. I'll see if I can see the profile. There's like some big sell orders right up above these highs. I don't know if it's stop loss or what the plan is there, but I see it right at 760. But yeah, POC's down at 720, which is I'm trying to see. I'm okay with a Titan trade down towards 720. That's what I'm trying to kind of look for. Something like what we have set up right here, breaking past this old high right below here. I feel like once we break these lows, we might just drop. And then POC is at 720, so that'd be a really good target for a Titan, which would put you right at about right here where my mouse is, where the crosshair is, right there. Perfect. Just need to break below those lows. What is that? What is a meta? I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
Happy New Year's, too.
What'd you say?
I'll say Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Happy
Oh,
New
it's
Year's, guys.
Happy New Year's. That's all.
Oh, yeah. I actually forgot. I just came, sat down on my computer, and looked at the date, and I said, holy moly, look at that. Another year down. 2026, here we are, right? Look at that. That looks nice.
Yeah, I hope
2026.
this year I can retire myself.
Maybe you'll retire yourself and some other people. You
Yeah,
know, a
that's
lot.
true.
A lot. It's true. A lot can change in 1 year. If I know a lot of people make a lot of New Year's resolutions and stuff, and you really stick to that stuff. I mean, you'd be unrecognizable if you start now and you work diligently through the end of the year and just stay on it, man. You will be unrecognizable by the end of the year. Well, it looks like this area
Yep, that
held.
is true.
This
Good,
area
good
looks like.
morning.
Hey, good
Oh,
morning.
sorry.
No, it's all
I
good. I was
just
just gonna point out this little
uh,
spot.
it just blew my account. That last Titans. Oh Jesus!
Where was your stop loss at?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't believe this, but doing good, doing good, doing good. New year.
Well, I mean, you can talk about it right now, or we can talk about it on the webinar if you want to. Um,
Yeah, we'll talk about it on the web. Yeah, we'll talk
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
So, but I'm assuming what happened is somehow you didn't you either had your size was too big or you didn't have your stop loss in place because this little move, I mean, this candle right here is only 30 points. So, uh, if you depending on what you're trading, that shouldn't be that much drawdown, even that entire candle, unless you're trading, say, you know, let's see, one contract on NASDAQ, that's a $500 trade. So, oh,
Yeah,
you are on NASDAQ?
yeah, and only do one contract, but I don't put my stop loss in. Maybe I should do it before it hits so it don't get higher because I usually don't put it on until afterwards. So maybe if I would have put the stop loss on before, then maybe it wouldn't have went so high. So that's my bag if that's the case.
Well, it looks like this. You're sitting here and you're waiting, and it says pending. So what that means is if it says pending, that means that you're right here. And that
Hmm.
means it says pending entry like this. And so you'll see pending entry, take profit, stop loss, and it will tell you the contract size based on the risk management that you've set up inside of here. So if,
Right,
if you
right,
only if you only want to risk $500, you put that 500 in here, whatever, press OK, it's gonna give you the right contract size. So you always just make sure you only use that if that size exceeds the total risk amount you've set up. It's going to tell you, it's still going to show it to you, but it's going to say, hey, by the way, this exceeds the risk. And so now what you would do is this. You would, it says pending. So the only way you can actually set this up as a pending is a buy stop. So you'd have to put a buy stop right here. Now, if this candle is in development, you don't want to put a buy stop and what's going to act as your stop loss will be a sell stop, right? Because you're going to use a buy stop to get in, and you would end up, that means that this is going to be a buy. You ultimately would use a sell stop as your stop loss, and then you would use a sell limit as your TP. You can't put a sell stop in here until this is triggered because this candle is in development. So as it's developing, if you put a sell stop here, you know what I mean, then it may go down and trigger that. Now you're selling and it's telling you to buy. So you do need to wait until the trade actually triggers the entry. But
Right.
it has never moved. Maybe like one time has it moved so fast where I'm sitting here and I take a trade and boom, it triggers, because this is what I'm doing. This is what my screen, if I was trading on TradingView, then I would already have my buy stop in, and I don't really worry too much with the TP. I just make sure that my buy stop is in. That's my most important thing. So I'll make sure my buy stop is in, or let's say if we were going to sell, I'd have my sell stop sitting right here, and I'm sitting like this. So let's say my stop loss is supposed to go right here. I will right click the chart and I've just got my finger on the button. I'm just waiting the moment that it triggers my trade. Then I'll click sell stop or whatever, whatever my stop loss is supposed to be, like this right here. Boom, I'd go ahead and put my sell stop in, and now I would right click here, but I'd be in. I'd put my buy stop in already, and I'd be done and in just like that. So you see how my entry was ready, and then I was already on right click. All I would have to do is place buy stop. And that would be the only option. I would only see buy stop or sell limit, and I know I'm selling, so I would use a buy stop. So I'm
I
not
don't
logged in.
see why. Yeah. I don't see, so I see a sell stop and I see a buy limit. But once I put the order in, then I could see a buy stop.
Well,
Right?
it depends on where you're clicking. If you're right clicking above current
Yes.
price, if you click above current price, you're going to see a sell limit, and you're going to see
Oh,
a buy stop. If you click below
gotcha.
current price, if you click below current price, you're going to see a sell stop and a buy limit. So
Okay.
I know this has happened to you a handful
I
of
know.
times, where
Yes.
it seems like every time I've talked to you, the one problem that you're having is over and over
Yes.
again. I feel bad.
Yes.
It's not even funny. I feel bad for you, but I'm trying to figure out what to do to help you, because I feel like it's been
Yeah.
3 times now that you've told me that you blew your account because you didn't get the stop loss in time.
Yeah. And I was right there. And I'm like, I can't believe this.
Well, and the other thing too, Internet, is I watched those trades. You had plenty of time to. It didn't do it super, super fast or anything. So I don't know what I can do to help you, but I'm willing to do whatever we can. I mean, if we need to go over some, maybe on our next call, or something,
Yes.
or I can just shoot a little video showing you what it sounds like you need to do is get
Hmm.
way faster at placing trades on your chart. Like, you understand the
Okay.
strategy, but
Yeah.
you're clicking too slow. Like you
Oh,
need to get those orders in, because we are trading on a 1 minute time frame. That is the
correct.
truth. I mean, it is fast. It's not
Hmm.
impossible. There's plenty of people doing this. So it is absolutely not impossible. What I've told people to do in the past is even go down to like a 15-second chart, a 30-second chart,
Hmm.
and they actually practice taking Titan trades on the 15-second or the 30-second, because it's so much faster. Just paper trading.
Hmm.
You're not trying to get
Right.
results. You're just practicing execution. And so, if you would just, if like if you would have a little practice where somebody could sit there and say, okay, go, go buy and set your stop loss and take profit. Like, I could just tell you a price, like, okay, go buy, 25,755. And so you need to go to your
Hmm.
chart, find 25,755. It would be as fast as you going like this, saying, okay, I'm supposed to buy. Okay, so I'm going to buy. You'd put in, your buy. I don't know if this
Hmm.
works or not, because I'm not logged into anything. But you would right click, press buy, then you put your sell. And see that, and that's why none of my videos, I don't teach anybody to use that drag feature on
Hmm.
trading view for the take profit and the stop loss, because what good is that feature when you can't even use it with trade ovate anyways? You
Mm,
can't drag your TP and stop loss. You have to use stops and limit orders to automate your TPs.
okay.
So yeah, now the other thing
Yeah,
too,
it's
this is another thing. Look, we're already going into it, so it doesn't matter. But are you saying that one trade blew your the whole account? Like
well,
you're
I'm still
trailing?
in. I'm still in there. I'm not
Okay,
totally blown out because I made money this morning, but
okay.
it just
It took some money from you.
yeah, they're
Okay,
a good chunk. That's all.
okay. Because I'm thinking, how'd you just blow an entire account on that one little candle? I was
No,
like,
no,
you
no,
must be
no,
using 10
no,
contracts or something.
no. I'm only doing one contract. I'm only doing one contract, but
All right,
still,
cool.
that's whew, yeah. But I'm
Well,
only doing Titan. That's the only one. And I was doing it like you was saying, where I don't put my limit or stop right at when the entry anyway. I always do a little further up. So just in case it don't hit it and it turns to go the other way, I'm safe. But this time it went a little past my entry, and by the time I tried to get it on there to change, it was already gone. But I was like, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay. So,
yeah.
but
Well,
otherwise, I'm all we.
I think though, if it did, go past your stop loss and you took an unexpected loss that was bigger than you accounted
Yes,
for because of
yes,
the fact that the stop loss wasn't in place. I still can
yeah,
like look at it this way. That's a beauty in these evaluation accounts and these demo accounts, and the
yeah.
fact that they're only $30. See, that could be your own money right there, right now.
Right,
So,
exactly, exactly.
so the fact that you're able to learn from that, what it says to me really clearly, especially because that seems to keep happening to you. I don't know if you're at work or not. I know you said you had some time off. So
Oh,
um
yeah, no, I'm home. Yeah, I'm still home. Yeah.
yeah, so take this time and you know that before you go back to work in these next few weeks, in the next few weeks leading up into January here, focus on your execution and just make it a goal of yours. I'm going to become, faster at taking trades. And just think about it this way. Like, you want to be able to see where you want to enter on the chart and do it
Hmm.
super quick. You want to be fast at that. You want to literally just be able to look at it and be like, I want to trade right there. Bam, I'm going to do it then, and
Uh,
just go in and just trade right exactly there.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
All right, what's this thing
It's
doing?
it's dropping.
It is dropping. Let's see. Weird looking.
Yeah.
Curious to see what it does at this level here. Our next level down here is the 600. I'm kind of going back and forth today too. Today, I don't know about how you guys feel, but I feel weird today. It does not feel like Friday with the holiday. Is it Friday for sure? Yeah, okay, it is. So yeah, it does not feel like Friday to me. If today feels like a Monday or a Tuesday, and here we are going into the weekend because it's been like that, and so yeah, it's very weird to me. Um,
I've been messed up for 2 weeks. I can't figure out what day of the week it is.
I
It's so
know,
weird.
I know it is. It really is. So,
I sold out of that
anyway,
that sells 5 minute sell zone on MNQ, and I think I think it's over 2x right now, 2R, whatever you want to call it.
yeah, yeah,
I got 1-to-1 right now.
I saw a couple good zone trades today. That's for sure. Especially those ones that you're talking about, where it's like as long as it breaks. I mean, I see a couple of them right here on my chart right here right now, where they just I can see it visually. And I see I'm messed up now. My brain, I can't. And since I did that scalping, because I've always been, I did the same thing that a lot of people did. Is I always looked for bigger profits on my trades. when I first started. Like, why not? Like, if the market's moving. But that was also easier with 4x because you could leave trades running for days and collect money on swap. But with futures, well, either way, this started back with 4x's. I traded bigger and higher time frames and longer. I used to like brag about my abilities to like like I would hold trades for like 30 days sometimes. Like, I mean, I would swing trades for 30 days, 60 days, and I thought that was a cool like skill, and so um but then over time I went to lower time frames. My trades got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and I realized I just had more fun and ultimately made more money trading smaller and getting in and out. So everything was a lot more predictable. Like, one of the things that I didn't like about trading the longer time frames, oh, we hit that level. Trading the longer time frames was that it was so unpredictable. Like, a lot of mornings you just didn't know how you were going to wake up. Like, see, I love waking up in the morning knowing I'm flat in most places in my life. I'm just flat. I don't need to go check and wonder how things are, especially in the last couple years. It's been kind of crazy. Like, things are, you can go to bed fine and you wake up the next day and everything's down or everything's up. It's just so volatile. But when I did that 0.5, that blew my mind because I never thought I would go below a 1-to-1. I thought that I was like content at a 1-to-1, but the 0.5, I know it sucks to kind of have to dig out of some losses, but I love winning 85% of the time. It feels good to win 85% of the time.
Well, I went back and looked at, because I draw like a horizontal line on the entry bar of every trade that I take, and then I color code them so I know what was a winner, what was a loser, what was break even. And I finally went back and looked at all of that because I'm still, by the way, having trouble loading the history of the zones like we were talking about before. It just, for some reason, it's not going back as far as I'd like it to. That's a conversation for another time. But the win rate, if you so there's the 5 minute zones that I trade. I don't have the paper in front of me right now, but it's pretty high. It's like over 70% for a 1-to-1 on the 5 minute. And then if you look at a 1 minute, I trade the 1 minute zones too, as long as the 1 minute and 5 minute quantum. And this is on gold, by the way. That I trade MNQ as well on the 5 minute, but not the 1 minute. So on 1 minute gold, the zone when I trade the zones, as long as the quantum on the 5 minute and the 1 minute is matches up, that one's got a super high win rate too. So it's over. I think I did separate win rates based on the New York session and the Asian session because I started doing a little bit in Asia too.
Yeah.
And I mean, gold in Asia is pretty solid, man. It just moves. But anyway, it's been good. It's been really. I mean, over time, it's net very positive. So
Yeah.
if that's all you did.
Oh yeah. So another thing too, and look, I know this is totally unrelated. Hold on, let me pull this up here. Man, I'm very excited to. I know I got y'all waiting forever for this freaking course, but I'm doing the best job I can on it, and I'm so happy with it. I'm actually like legitimately just happy and excited to send it out to you guys, and I've put a ton of effort into it, and it's kind of weird. So the course, like I told you, so order flow, I realized as I started thinking about teaching it, I realized I was like, dang, that's kind of like hard. Like, as I started thinking of, like, I'm sitting in front of the chart and I'm like, all right, well, let's start with the basics. And normally I just make a video and I annotate the chart and I demonstrate everything on the chart right there in front of us. But then I'm like, well, like a lot of order flow stuff is kind of like conceptual stuff, and so I decided I was going to make a PDF instead. I've basically made like a little ebook at this point. But man, I think I really nailed it. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do. Like in the way how you combine what y'all are doing right now and how Darren, like I think this would be good for you too, because you've seen a lot of the stuff that I've done. You've worked with a lot of stuff I've done, and you have a lot of experience of your own. So you're gonna have your own ideas as well. So I'm real excited to see once you go through the course, see what perspectives you get from it, and then see what y'all are able to do with it. I think it's gonna be big. You can see this
Yeah.
is
No,
what it
I can't
looks like
wait
right
to see
here.
it.
Well, if you are you looking at my screen?
Oh, hold on a second. I was getting an order in. Hold on. Let me just get this in here in case it triggers. There's a 5-minute zone on gold right now that just developed. So
Yeah, I just took some trades. Oh, I took a trade and traded down into this zone.
I am looking at your screen now.
So you can see, look, it's very long.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
There's a ton of content in here though. I mean, and I tried my absolute best to really paint the picture. Like every time as I would sit down, I've just really been having fun with it. I do probably, I don't know. I made a rough draft for it. I've done a couple different things, so I've pretty much been pumping out like a couple chapters each day. But you can see I've broken everything down, made it real simple, and then each lesson, you've got your lesson, and then what I'm doing is I've got some visual examples in here for each one, and I'm pulling these off of Addis, but these images here come directly from what you just learned. So if in the last course, it had mentioned, most movement is routine, order flow only matters when the market is being forced to decide. So this is the first lesson. So this isn't even, I mean, this is just a little bit of a demonstration and things like that. But as time goes on and you get into further lessons, it gets a lot more detailed, where you can, where we're really breaking down the absorption, the footprint charts, where we're looking, exactly what we're looking for. So I'm so excited. Like, I thought I was gonna finish it yesterday, and I just had no more left in the tank. I was like, I've got to get off of this. My eyes were crossing. I'm like, Brenda is coming in, and she's like, "Aren't you gonna take me somewhere? Like, we gotta go somewhere. We gotta get out of the house." I'm like, I'm almost finished with my PDF.
No, that looks good. I'm looking forward to reading through that because
Oh
I
yeah,
think because I'm the other thing too is that because I'm trading, well, I'm glad you're on gold a lot now, but because I've been trading gold for a little while, like I'm not always looking at your screen. I'm listening to you, but
yeah,
like to have those visuals and see
yeah,
how this thing works. And I also can't see your screen really clearly with Discord. I mean, it's just kind of too small to get
right.
some of the detail, but so I think that's going to be really helpful. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm just excited because I sometimes as I'm sitting here narrating what I'm seeing here on the chart, I'm like, do they even know what I'm talking about? Or am I confusing people? And then like the worst part, the thing that I don't like the most is narrating what I'm seeing, and I'm looking at one chart, and then on the other chart that we're all viewing, a an opposite side signal is setting up. So I may be analyzing for a sell, but we have a buy signal setting up, and I want to bridge the gap. For everyone else that's watching, that's fine. If you don't understand what's going on, it's because you don't see what we're doing. You have to stay around long enough to understand what's happening. But for everyone else, they've got access to the training. They can read it. Like obviously some of the lowest risk trades that you can get is when you have when you've got clear institutional order flow, right, where you can clearly see the type of trades I'm always talking about, the ones that I'm always looking for every single morning, the obvious ones. And so you're going to be like Titan is a continuation tool. It trades in the direction that price is going. So obviously Titan's almost always going to be calling a buy, and I may be calling a sell based on order flow. And so I know there's been a handful of times when I'm sitting here saying, oh, I'm looking for a sell, and somebody else is looking for a buy because of what they see on, on their screen right there. And so I'm just excited for people to be able to understand 100% why, like, okay, well, I'm looking for it because of this one reason. This is why I built Titan, is this right here, because this, obviously, if you read order flow right now, it's going to say that everyone's selling. You don't need to read order flow in order to see that we have sellers in the market. So it's because it's because it's too easy and it's too obvious, it's hard for me to enter stuff like that. So the Titan really helps me in these situations where I don't have to worry, think, or wonder. I just know, okay, there's a signal, I can follow that. There's a signal, I can follow that. This is working out just right. That's crazy.
And filled the hell off. Jesus.
Whoever was here at the beginning of the call, I freaking, I don't know how many times I gotta say I told you so. I hate saying it, I really do, but I was like, yeah, what we need is we need NASDAQ to get up above the high right here, and we're measuring everything up, saying, okay, if it'll break the high here, then that'll be the most obvious place to trade, and it sure did. It broke the high, set up the sell, and off it went. Now we've broken the low. We just broke the low of the overnight or the afternoon session, Asian session, if you will. So I know I said I was done, but I might look. Oh shoot, it's lifting out. It's already lifting off fast. What is that? 473.
You had a gap down there from open.
God, I would have loved to trade that. Oh, hey, maybe it'll let me. Let me see. Do I really want to do this? Oh, it's so volatile. You'd have to get in. I mean, for me, 267 or right where it's at right now. I'll just do without it. I'll just do without it. I've been back and forth too much today. I've been back and forth too much. It's been one of those days for me where it's like, I'll win a trade, I'll lose a trade, I'll win a trade, I'll lose a trade, I'll win like over and over and over again. So right now, this is where I'm at. And you can see literally I'm 55% win rate. So like I said, it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth today. And so couple Titans, couple price action trades, things like that. And that's what it's got me, which is my goal. My typical goal is about $500. So I'll be fine with this 450. Don't have to fight it. Crazy open, or really it was like looking like a very bad open. It was back and forth, up down, up down, up down. Finally came up here, made our little break. Let's see if this was 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock happened right here. Of course it did. Pushed back up into there, and it went after that. Got buyers starting to step in a little bit. Wonder if they'll actually lift it.
It's a trap.
I didn't know you were in here, Matt.
Yeah, I got in late and kind of a little mad at myself because I'm almost positive, I can't say with certainty, but I would have made some money on the sell-off.
I bet you probably would have. You're good at those.
Yeah, because I'm looking like the Quantum and TV Blast were perfectly lined up. Like they were all red. Everything was red.
And I don't know when you came in, but I talked about when
10 minutes ago.
Okay, so yeah, you probably heard like as soon as we got on this call, I marked these highs and was like, I was watching for price to go above the highs, and it failed to go higher. It went. I was ready. I was like, oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna go above the highs. I had it all marked out, ready to sell, and it didn't actually touch it. It sold off, and then some minutes later went up there. So we were sitting there watching, waiting for the sell. Didn't know it was gonna go that far, but it. Yeah, I bet
I
you
caught a
would have got
little
some
bit of
back.
it, but yeah, I think I would have made a lot more. But I like to get in and out of trades. I don't know, like this
Yeah.
is a perfect example. If you were on a 1 minute chart, you could just trail to the top of the last closed candle and you just would have made bank, right? Just
Yeah.
keep moving it down, down, down.
Yeah. Yeah, quantum
Because not one of
really
those,
held you.
yeah, and not one of those candles closed higher than the well, maybe one just slightly, but if you went like 1.5 candles, you would have just made
Yep.
so much money.
Yep.
And that's, to be honest, where the Quantum and the TV Blast comes in. If that's solid red and it's trending down, you can, take a tiny bit of a retracement, like, half a candle,
Right,
and
right.
more than likely, it's gonna still keep going in the trending direction.
Yeah. Yep. The TV Blast is great for that because TV Blast literally, if you found TV Blast in the dictionary, it would say speed plus momentum. That's what TV Blast is. It's or speed plus direction, which means momentum. It's it's really a momentum indicator, but it's not actually coded like a momentum indicator. I guess it kind of is, kind of isn't, but it identifies when price is moving in one direction at a certain rate of speed. And so you combine that with the quantum, which stretches over, it watches a few candles, so you've got short-term direction. I know that works well for these types of movements right in here.
That TV Blast for most of the trip down was all yellow, though.
Yellow is
On my
yeah, so you can
It's
get
high
rid of
volatility.
yeah, you can get rid of the yellow. The yellow, remember, yellow doesn't mean do not trade. Think of this like a traffic light. All right, and it's funny. In fact, it works just like a traffic light because of this. I'll tell you. So red.
That's what I figured.
Right. So red is, obviously sell. Green
Yeah.
is buy. Now yellow means caution. So red means price is moving fast in a specific direction. Green means price is moving fast in a specific direction. Yellow means price has moved too far too fast. So when prices move too far too fast, it typically will have to pull back. That doesn't mean it. I mean, until whatever's pushing the market stops, it can keep moving, right? But it's just letting you know, hey, just be careful. This is super volatile. So you may be buying, just don't be surprised if you buy at the very top or if you sell at the very low, because it's letting you know caution. But in situations where you see sustained volatility like that, again, yes, be cautious. I mean, how can you be cautious? You're gonna size down. That's all you. I mean, really, that's all you're gonna size down and get a little wider. That's what you're gonna do. That's what most people do when they exercise caution in the market. They size down and they get wider. So you do the exact same thing. Give yourself a little less size and a little bit more room, and you could scale into a position easily doing it that way. Most cases, you're going to be focused on red dots and green dots. you know, around key areas is what I would say, you know. So like if I'm sitting here telling you that I'm looking for a sell when price breaks up above these highs, and I'm like, yep, just watch, we're going to wait until price breaks above these highs and we're going to start looking for a sell. Well, something you might do is you might start looking for the first red TV blast dot that appears, right? And so you're not going to be looking for the first yellow. You're going to, and you're not going to see a yellow first. You're going to see either a green, gray, or red. And so somewhere in here, I guess I could just add it on. TV blast. Is this the latest one? Let me see. Change color candle. There we go. All right. So TV blast. So this would be the first red dot. This would be the second red dot. This would be the third red dot. So you see no yellow ones. Well, why don't? Oh, my yellow ones are all the way down here. So my first yellow one appeared all the way down here. So now underneath these, Sheldon, if you need to or want to, watch what happens is if I go in here and I see this yellow dot setting, watch what color underneath them, they're red. So they're just red dots. Yellow dots are red dots and yellow dots are green dots. They're just overlaying on top of them. So, you know, if you've got price moving up really, really fast, like this right here, they appear as yellow dots, but underneath those, they're green dots. See? Look, boom, they're green dots. So you can get rid of the yellow dots if you want to, and then that way you only have green and red, and it might be a little bit more easier to look at.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I get
My
rid of
TV
them.
blast menu looks nothing like yours.
Maybe I'm looking at
Mine
it.
looks like that. I personally disabled the yellow.
Oh, you switched it.
I'm in
Okay,
style.
style.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where you get your. So take the style and
Remove the
check
yellow
the
dot
yellow.
setting. Yeah. A lot of people do that, Matt. Over the years, I've realized a lot of people. I put the yellow there just because I don't know why I did it. Actually, I built this a long, long time ago. So I just at one point I remember I was thinking I really like this indicator, but I don't like it when I get these red dots at the very top of a trend or something like that. So I was like, well, maybe if it goes too far too fast, I'll just make them yellow, and I did it, and then I was like, hey, that's kind of like a traffic light, and
Yeah, if you look at that, if you entered like kind of when it broke the structure at the top, you could have rolled the 1 minute all the way down until it turned, even if you waited till it turned green.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean if you would have just waited for like anywhere
Yeah,
like
yeah,
right
yeah.
here?
You get in right about the close of that candle
Mm-hmm.
and just ride it until it goes green.
Yep.
Or I actually on the quantum, when the bars get like almost like a doji kind of bar, candle, you can get out then too, right?
I need to spend a little bit more time looking at that. I noticed that as well on quantum, that sometimes that every now and then it makes kind of like this doji kind of look, and I almost wanted to try to code the indicator to identify those and see if there was any hidden patterns inside here. Basically, anytime you see like maybe it could be green followed by a gray doji or something like that, and just make it start identifying those just to highlight them on the chart and see if it's worth looking, or something like this right here, where it's like a super doji looking candle. I don't know if you were here when I explained how this works or what this even is, but it's interesting when you see a pattern like this, because if you understand how this indicator works, in order for a candle to make this pattern right here, it actually requires, depending on the settings you're using, it requires up to 3 candles. 3 candles have to close in they have to open, close, make highs and lows. 3 candles have to do all that in a very specific way in order for this candle to close just like this right here. And so the last 3, 1, 2, 3, these all would have had to do something very, very specific for this to look that way. And so, you know, it's basically candle blending. You're taking 3 different candles. It's almost like viewing multiple time frames, but on one time frame.
It's
And
kind of like a super Heiken-Ashi.
kind of like that, yeah, kind of like that. But it's taking multiple candles, and I guess the Heiken-Ashi does that with multiple candles, right? Kind of blends them together.
I think it just does. I think Heiken-Ashi just does the previous candle.
Okay.
I think, but anyway, same idea.
Yeah. Man, if I would have, I gotta have that story for today. But I got. Well, go ahead. What'd you get?
I was just gonna say I got in a buy if that's what you're talking about.
I got in a buy at 482, and I've been out.
Oh wow.
A long time ago. Now I only got like a couple $100 out of it. It was at the very low, and when that first candle flushed out down here, right here, it looks different with TV Blast on, but this candle right here, when this one flushed, then this one came back, and I entered in here as these candles leveled out here, and I just traded it back just to the top of this little stupid range. It looked so important at the time. It was like, it's like,
Yeah, but the cumulative delta was trending up.
yeah. You mean divergent, right?
No, it wasn't divergent. Both NQ and MNQ were when it was started trending up. That's when the chart was going up.
Oh yeah. No, that's good. That means that we're trading.
No, I
good
know, but I'm
buyers.
just saying you could have held it.
Yeah, but I've had a back and forth day, so
Yeah.
but that did put me up and over my goal. I had already said I was done for the day, and then I seen that happen, so I went ahead and took one more. And the only reason I took it was because it clearly swept these lows down here. So we swept the high of the overnight low highs and overnight lows, and I didn't expect to go down here. I did expect to go here with our volume levels and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, this was like the best place to trade, and this was the second best place to trade. So and then this was great, but you would have had to be that type of a
And
trader.
I think it's going to work its way back up to the opening price like it usually does.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised right here.
Ken, the other thing too that because I caught there's a 5-minute zone down there and it was a buy, so I got a 1-to-1 on that. I think I
Nice.
got in around 508 ish.
Oh, I see
509.
that. Yeah.
But that one was a winner too. But one of the things that too, like if you're in a trade and then you get a zone that paints like that, you can almost look at potentially, as long as that it breaks out of that zone, you could look at the TP. So if you're in your case, it depends on when you exited. I don't know if that zone had painted yet, but you could be like, okay, well, it just broke out of the buy zone where you might have been taking your take profit. You could have maybe looked to see, okay, well, where's the TP on that zone, and which was around 560, 563 ish or somewhere in there. I can't see the line right now, but yeah, it's around 560. But sometimes, like if I'm in for example, if I get into I do this sometimes with Titans and the zones on the 1 minute, where if I'm in, because sometimes the zone's bigger, so you have to take more risks, but at the same time, a Titan's painting. So you
Right.
can kind of go, okay, well, I'm going to get in on the Titan entry, but I'm going to use the zone TP, which could be TP2 on a Titan. So I don't know, just different ways you can play around with it. I usually just take 1-to-1 just because I want to get, like you, I want to kind of get in and out and get my profit,
Right.
especially depending on how the day is going. But it's interesting when you look at those two together, they can really help each other out. So
Yeah, I appreciate your observations on that and just perspective on it. I hope that other people are also listening, and I know that I've already taken a couple of the things that you've said, and I mean you made the video and everything, so I've already taken a couple things and put them to use, and looked at things kind of through your lens as well.
Yeah, Darren, I
that's
appreciate
awesome.
that video too because I've taken a couple. It's sometimes it's hard to focus on too many different things, but
Yeah, for
definitely,
sure.
like, I'm just looking at that MNQ 5-minute buy zone. I mean, that was a perfect example.
Yeah, no, I mean, over time, like Ken always says, that there's an edge there for sure. I mean, I don't know if you were on earlier, but and I'll have to get the numbers. I can post them up in the chat later. But I did go back and look at like all of the trades that I marked up over like the last. Well, gold I have like a month, and then MNQ I kind of added only. It's only a couple weeks ago, but I have the win rate on both of them, and it's done very well. It's really done very well. So, I mean, on the 5 minute, if you just did the 5 minute alone, if you just wanted a basic strategy, I think you could. I mean, it might take you a little bit longer to pass an eval, but like it's profitable. It's definitely profitable. And then but I also do them on the 1 minute, which obviously gives me more opportunities. Um, but on the 1 minute, I just make sure that the 1 minute and 5 minute quantum are in alignment with the trade, and then I'll take it. But yeah, it's been good. So I'm glad you guys getting some value out of it. I mean, it's a very simple strategy, but those zones are powerful, man. It's crazy. Like, and Ken, I haven't said, but like, it's amazing to like. I've had times where literally I've entered, it's pulled all the way back, and it came within like a tick or two of the stop of where you have the stop in there, and then it went back up and then goes into profit.
Mm,
It's just insane how
yeah,
well sometimes
I
that
know.
zone holds up. Like you're like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna survive this. Like it's like a tick away. Like I mean,
Yeah,
and then it goes up, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I survived that trade.
yeah,
You know, so it's really crazy.
yeah. I know it. That was my exact. When I made it, I was like, no way, like, and I know. Look, I know that some people they could be sitting here looking at me and being like, I don't understand. What are they seeing? That's so great, but you have to have an eye for it. Like you can't be super basic with this. Like you have to realize that like what an edge really is in trading and realize, okay, that this is really cool that I can just load this simple thing on my chart and I'm looking without a doubt, no ands, ifs, or buts. I have access to more winners than losers. All I got to do is get in here and not screw it up. Try to be do a little due diligence, add a couple little filters, do a tiny bit of work. I mean, it's as close to, you know, it's as close to like a complete fool holy grail as you could get. Obviously, you could take any edge and mess it up with, oversizing and overtrading and stuff like that. But man, when you got the right perspective and you only need a couple each day or even a couple each
Mhm.
week, having access to the zone indicator, if you look at it through, see, you won't see that opportunity depending on your perspective, but if you've got the right trading perspective, you'll look at it and you'll realize, holy moly, this is huge. It's like somebody has given you an ATM,
Yeah.
and you can just
Well, honestly, man, if you
go ahead.
go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, if you want more opportunities, I mean, technically you could throw this up. Like I have it on gold and I have it on NAS, right? But
Hmm.
you could throw it up on ES. You could throw it up on YM. I mean, if you want, I mean, because it's on a 5 minute, because 5 minute obviously doesn't generate as many zones as like a 1 minute would. But like if that's all you want to do, and it's a pretty stress free because on a 5 minute, it's not. You usually have plenty of time. I mean, I know Internet was having, she's trying to get the speed down, and on a 5 minute chart, you really 95% of the time you're not having that issue.
Right,
I mean, every
right.
once in a while you get a zone that price closes kind of like say it's a
Super
buy zone,
quick.
price might close really close to the back to the top of the zone, and
Yeah.
you got to be ready for it. But on a 5 minute chart, that zone has probably been shown there for a minute. Like you have
Yeah.
time to go in. Like, and I do trade. I know you don't teach this, but like I trade with a trading view, and I do drag my stop loss and profit target. The reason why I do it personally is because it automatically calculates my risk. Like I can see exactly how much my dollar is, and it gives me the number of lots to trade. So, it helps me in that regard. And sometimes I do miss stuff because it can take a little bit extra time to do that.
Right.
But again, like to go back to the 5 minute zones, like I got plenty of time to set that up on a 5 minute. like
Right.
a high majority of the time. I'm not trying to rush into doing it. I can breathe and then it just, you let it play out.
Yep.
And so, and it works pretty well. I mean, I love it. Those zones have become my new favorite for sure.
Yeah, and
And then
it's
tight,
you know what
second.
you know what I also like about the zones is that it's very versatile. Like, okay, the way you're using it as a breakout, it wasn't even the way that it was intended. I mean, obviously you can see how I just kind of added that to it. I was like like
Hmm.
let me just add this breakout mode just because I saw the same thing that you're seeing. I was like, wait a minute, so that's why you see it's called trading zones, but really once you load it on your chart and you started using it, you saw the same exact thing that I saw, and then you said, hold up, let me enable this breakout mode. Oh, look at that. It does risk management, stop loss, take profit, entry, all that kind of stuff. And it just so
Yeah.
you can use it for the breakout, but it also works great to look for sale. Like it works great to look for sales in those areas. Like look, price did retest and sell out of that area. So, so it still works good for price coming back to it. Sorry, I was looking at another chart. And even here, I mean, I know that this doesn't look crazy, but look, price from a long time ago, dipped right into that zone, wicked
Hmm.
into that zone, and reversed off of it. That's an opportunity right here. There's money inside of there right here. I mean, you could have a zone appeared on that. You could have made $500 right there off of that.
That's another way that I will. I haven't really started
Well,
implementing it heavy because I'm just trying to get more confident with it. But yeah, when it comes back to it, especially a zone it's like I feel like the older the zone is,
mhm.
the stronger it can be on the retest.
Yeah.
One that maybe say from yesterday or from like say it's late in the session and this one happened or like maybe it happened, pre-market or whatever, but pre-open. But yeah, when it comes back in, especially if it comes back into the zone and then paints a new zone on top of it, like to me those are pretty strong too.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But
New
I've
daily
even
low.
like,
Sorry.
oh
On
yeah, it's
gold,
jumping. No, you're good.
on gold,
No,
on NASDAQ.
thank you.
NASDAQ
Hold on, gold's
drop. Yep,
doing something
it
right
just
now too. I'm watching gold very carefully. It's
yep.
gold's at 350 right now, and I'm trying to see if the POC just shifted. So I was trying to see if it would absorb right here or not. I don't feel like this is updating.
NQ started to trend up and then it turned around and went right back down.
Yeah, I thought I was going to try and make a move further, but it didn't.
That's what I thought.
So NASDAQ's making a new low, you say? Let me go look at that. New low of the day.
Yeah, are we coming into an area you like to do your thing?
Yeah, this is very good. Let's see how it reacts. I mean, this could be a buy right here, right now. Gold's right here too.
Yeah, buy signal on the reversal
Yeah,
indicator.
I mean, basically, if it doesn't break the lows, then then it's a good trade. It's just about getting in at at a place that you're okay with the risk, because there is risk. It depends on how high up this candle closes. Like right now, entering at the high of that candle, one contract's about $500, but entering down here, like this is good right here, like buying now.
When you've also got it just dipped below out of the initial balance too, right? Because I put that
Yeah.
indicator up on my screen just to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my little tool here? So yeah, when it dropped right here, you just set it up like this. Like you would have, I think.
What time frame? What time frame are you guys putting like for the for the initial balance there? Was it 9:30 session time? What time are you guys using?
I personally, I do this the old school way, the way that's always been done before everyone tried to change it up. And it was the session open at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it goes on for 1 hour. That's what it's always been. Now everyone's doing first 5 minutes, first 15 minutes. So you would have just won that trade. Or if you're if you're in this trade, you are up right now. You're up like $400 or $500 right now, or you already hit TP. But yeah, so I use the 1 hour, and I just like to watch it. This is like a critical point right here. Like if price reclaims this area and it trades back in here, there's a very, very good chance that we actually may end up all the way back up at around 630. So, it's I say that with care because see, look, this is what I was here for. I don't care about the middle of the range. If it goes up there, that's great. I'm already out. This is my edge right here. Okay. That maybe let me zoom in and make it look bigger and better. Look at that, guys. Look at what we got. 1,000 pips.
What was your, like, I can see why you started to look at it. So then what about that when you say made you get in and if just based on what you drew there, like at that point, like what would have made you buy at that exact spot? Or you probably did anyway and probably made your money, but
I did. I did. I wasn't
you're
gonna
looking at a
trade.
bunch of other stuff.
I wasn't gonna trade again, but this right here. And so, and just to make it really clear too, I want to show y'all something here. Let me just click right there. Click right there. Click on this button. I'm on a different screen. Hold on. I'm about to show you. Just give me a second.
Yeah, 2 zones at 1, 2 right there in that area. The buy and the sell.
Yeah. Oh wow! I just looked over to the right for a second, and that sucker. So it obviously did not stay there, right? We hit the TP, and then you see this is how I said if it comes in here and it reclaims this area, then we end up all the way back up here at 630. This is it not reclaiming this area. This is it pushing outside of here. So at this point, it could do whatever it wants to do. If it comes back into this range and I see a reason to buy, this is where I'd be comfortable. Look at this like an area to where you'd be buying. And that's exactly why I said I'm not doing it like this right here. This right here removes the edge because now guess what? You didn't make no money on it at all. Or you could have traded it the same way I traded it. And see a lot of people, they're not happy with this. They're like, oh no, I need all the points, and all the big movements. But this is $100, this is $200, this is $500, this is $1,000. It's however you are set up, and seeing it here. And I'm going to break it down. Darren, you asked me some specifics. I'm about to tell you exactly why I did it, but I want to show you why I did it as well. There we go. I found it. So, are you still here?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, all right, this is why I did it, but I'm so excited to give you guys this. See here, so here's the course, the course that I keep telling you guys about, and this is exactly why I did it right here. All right, so clear evidence in rejection, stacked imbalances, boom, 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 massive selling volume. You see how this right here, if you look at that and then you look at, I know it's a different color. I guess, well, it's a different color, and things are different, very different because of the color scheme and my scaling on this chart. But ultimately, what you can see is price dropping down. It's a bearish candle. It's a bullish candle. It's at a specific area. And then if you look at the same thing here, it's doing the same thing, right? There's a bearish candle, a bullish candle. You see how if you just focus on this candle here and this candle right here, it's the exact same as this candle and this candle. And so when you start to look inside of here, which very, very shortly, maybe even today, I'm gonna give you access to that PDF. Everyone in mentorship is gonna get that PDF. What I break down inside of here. See, I've already explained this so many times here on these live streams. I've done this over and over again, but now you're going to have a little lesson right inside of here that actually explains why you did it, right? And exactly what it is. And so what happened here was we were expecting, like you said, these are these areas I like to buy at, or I like to look for trades at. And so I can see clearly in the order flow, nothing else required. I can see that price is pushing down. And then I can see without order flow, I can see that we got a bullish candle for sure. Hold on, I'm trying to make that turn into a regular candle and it won't. It's weird, but anyway, so you can see that this is a bullish candle. I can see that without order flow, but I can confirm it in the order flow. I can actually see that not only is this a bullish candle, but it has a high amount. In fact, above average buyers stepping in here. So it was selling.
Right.
I was expecting to buy here. I was already expecting it. All I needed to see was price fail to go lower. And I needed to see a clean, clear change of hands between sellers and buyers. And that's exactly what happened. We were selling, and it was evident in the order flow. And then at a key level that we talked about, price stopped and it failed to go lower. It literally said, I cannot go lower. It tried and it couldn't. See, the wick is right here. Not only that, but see, with looking at the order flow, we can look inside of there. We can see where the buyers and the sellers are, or we can just quickly look at CVD and we can determine there's a net positive buy, of buyers versus sellers. That's what CVD shows us. I'm visualizing CVD as an average right here as well. I can see that, I can see that it was above average, and I can see that like this was a very, very bullish bar. And then look at what happened in the next candle. So this in itself was too risky. You can't just, because where your stop loss is supposed to go is at the invalidation point. So we want to be buyers until it doesn't make sense to be buyers, or until we take our profit, right? And if I buy just because this candle closed because it couldn't go lower, well, if I put my stop below the low, look, I'm risking $550. I don't want to risk $550. I'd already, maybe on a different day, I'd risk $550, but it's just been one of those Fridays where it's been back and forth for me. I'm not about to risk $500 on this one trade. So I waited until price pulled back down in here, right? And that made it very, very attractive. I can always lose $165. That's not hard. That's not hard to come back from. That's easy to come back from. So when this candle here started to pull back in, I was like, okay, yeah, this looks good. It dipped all the way back into that high volume area. It even dipped back into this volume area. It touched the 450 right here. The best place to enter this trade was like right in here. And then so what I did was when I seen this happening and I could see my countdown and it was there's 10 seconds left and we were all the way up here, I already knew that I was missing the trade. I said, damn, I'm not going to be able to take that trade. The only way I could take that trade is if, and I put my mouse right here and I said, as if it came back to right here, which is 454.50. So 454.50 is where I'd be okay buying that. So 454.50, that would look like that. That would look like this. And that's exactly what I did. Except for I did this. Just like that. And so you see how probable this trade became? Like, look, this is a very clear invalidation point. It should not go below there, or else my whole idea for wanting to be a buyer goes out the window. I don't want to buy anymore. If it goes below here, it shows me invalidation. So by waiting for price to come back, I turned a good signal into a great signal, because now I don't even need price to go up here to hit my TP. I just needed to come back to the high of this candle here, which is very likely. So, I mean, this became an extremely good trade, and low risk. It was very low risk. So, look, if I wanted to try to hold on to it, I was in the right place to try to hold on to a big trade. You know what I mean? Like if I was ever going to trade somewhere where I have some good potential, it's right here. I mean, it could have very easily gone all the way back up to here, but that's why you trade this area right here. Like if you'll trade that area, then it's either going to reject this area or it's going to come back in here. And this one obviously rejected it. And so here's a, expansion of a 1-to-1. The 1-to-1 is right down there at 284. And then we'll probably get us a tight end signal about to set up. Is what it looks like.
And I'm done for the day.
I'm sorry.
And I'll
go ahead, Matt.
See you guys maybe on the webinar or on Monday.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Yep.
See you later.
Hey, Kenneth, can you just say that again? How you made that a doubly good trade?
Yeah. So basically, I'm
this close to getting that.
Yeah. So, and I'm recording, so you can always go watch this as a recording, but just right here. So, the style trade I look for right here. And then this is what confirmed it, was when price closed up here and price closed up there and it didn't go lower. And I could see the clear change from sellers to buyers. I was fine buying. I'm a buyer at this point, but not for $555 total risk, right? If I was to buy here and put my stop below here, I'm going to lose $555 on this trade. So I did not want to risk that much on this trade. So I said, what I'll do is I will see if I get the opportunity to enter where I'm okay with at risk. My stop was going to be down here. I wanted to risk about 250 on the trade. Normally I risk 500 on a trade. I don't have to risk 500 on a trade. I risk $500 on a good trade. Okay, so and when I feel good about trading, I've been back and forth today. I don't feel good about trading, so I've been winning a trade, losing a trade, winning a trade, losing a trade. It's like that sometimes, and so I don't want to give back all my profits. I'm basically at 500 or 600 for the day. So I'm trying to pull it up right now, and I'll keep talking. Yeah, I'm at 600 for the day. Why would I want to risk $500? I'd lose all my profits in one trade. So that's personal for me. I didn't want to risk $500 on there. So the only way I could take this trade, everything else looked great about it. The only way I could take this trade is if it came back to this point where if my stop loss was here and I enter here, I'm risking about 250. And so that's all I did. I said, all right, well, if it comes here, this is invalidation below here. So if it comes down to here, now I'm only risking 250, which I was okay with. And if I'm only look, if I only target a 1-to-1, now I'm not buying up here, and I need price to expand up into here with a stop loss, that's equal to this much. See, I would have needed price to go all the way up here, but because price pulled back down, it's the same that I talk about a lot, is like this. Like, this is what the risk, it's kind of like a red zone trade. This is what the risk did look like, right? This is what it would have looked like. Well, I chose not to take that type of a risk. Instead, I decided to enter deep within the red zone, diminishing the risk. And I could have added potential reward, but what I did was I just went 1-to-1. I just, I wasn't even going to take a trade, man. I was done. I had already put my stats out. I said, you know what, I'm done. But look at the location. The location of it was clear. Right, we had gone up and broke overnight highs, and I sold here. This was my plan at open. I thought I was going to do it right here, but it took a little longer to get up there. So we traded overnight highs, selling out of there. It went straight through the range, found support at. And then this is where the trade happened right here. This is, I'm pretty sure, either here. No, it's over here. No, I'm pretty sure we traded this area, and I traded that one. So it was just these areas. I was just trading them. That's funny. Now I look at it when it's all done. It's exactly what I wanted to see today. All right, does that help?
It's like a concentrated trade.
Yes. It is. Look at that. Look at that trade. I didn't realize that on the 1 minute, our little flush indicator, the same trade that I'm talking about that I took, the one, look, these are the results on gold on the 1 minute. So here, one of them won here, but look at this freaking trade right there. All the way, you talk about the top. I mean, that was at the high of the day. I don't think you could have gotten a better entry. And this was called by an indicator that does not repaint. That's cool.
That's the reversal, right?
That's the reversal indicator on gold today. This is the first time seeing it. It happened while we were on the call. I just didn't see it for whatever reason. I think it happened. Let me see. What's my time zone here? Oh no, that's exchange. Maybe not. Let me see. Where's Phoenix? Oh no, this was an hour before we got on the call.
Yeah, it's right before gold.
Yeah.
Opens at 7:30.
Yeah, this one won too though. So every single reversal trade has won on gold that I've seen here. But I'm gonna get off, you guys. I've got the webinar for mentorship in 40 minutes. So for you guys, I'll see you on the mentorship. If you are interested in the order flow stuff that we've been talking about, I would definitely come to the webinar, because I'm going to be going over this and talking to you guys a little bit about how I'm going to do this and what I'm going to do with it and what my big plans are with it. So definitely tune in. I'll drop the Zoom link inside of Discord. And for the rest of you, I will see you on Monday for trading. Get clear on your plans, guys. It's 2026. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's 2026. So here we are. New goals, all that good stuff. If you got some goals, for those of you that are not in the mentorship program and you've been kind of tagging along or just trading with us, it might be something you want to consider if you're really focused on obtaining your trading goals. If you're not where you want to be, if you've been working on this and you're making progress but you're not actually getting payouts, you need to add some structure to your trading. So stay focused, you guys. Got the weekend ahead of us. I'll see you on Monday. I'll see the rest of you on the webinar.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
See y'all later.